So, Paul, let's take ourselves away from the individual coming on, how we can improve that process and compete against the gigs. Let's put on your corporate hat now, indirect selling, and you hear, whether it's indirect selling or outside of direct selling, everybody's talking about digital transformation, right? Mm-hmm. So think of your direct selling experience. How did you come to see the necessity of digital transformation in direct selling?
Well, I think that the term is becoming a little overused.
I would agree.
But I do believe in the early, I would say early days of when that started. So I would probably rewind 5, 6, 7 years. It was really needed, and I think that the statement I would make there is that big legacy organizations, and even some now I'd recognize these patterns in smaller ones, created a pretty big problem for themselves, where they, as the technologies that were available were very young, leveraged and custom built everything themselves. And so, and what's quite interesting is when I worked at a big organization, you sort of saw that and you recognized the need, and you had the financial wherewithal to be able to say, this is going to be an enormous opportunity to then move to a buy versus build scenario and balance it out. And then the challenges around doing that were then figuring out your capital investment and and then switching to OpEx, because, it's a completely different way to financially record all of this. And that's a bigger challenge. But irrespective of it all, it really just kind of comes down to the fact that now things have changed so dramatically that you couldn't possibly keep up with the innovation that a large technology company that specializes in whatever that solution would be, yourself. It's just impossible. The human investment behind doing that, and then the risk involved, it's just not possible anymore. But I think that it switches the paradigm completely, which is that you've then got to change your team, your internal team, to be curious and researchers and strategists that look at the ecosystem and constantly challenge things and change the way that the organization's operating. And that's a challenging thing to do in a big company, and actually even a small company, because in a smaller organization, which I've basically been involved in for the last few years now, working with smaller direct sellers, they want to take this challenge on too, and they don't have the resources necessary. So then they're relying on consultants like myself to actually guide them through the process.